Just doing some laundry.
What?
Just doing some laundry. I was wearing these pants yesterday and I sat down.
Uh-oh.
It was a full moon last night.
Oh my.
Tell me if you know the movie. Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
I don't know.
Gonna have to get up on that history.
Let us know in the comments.
Wasn't out of the backside of the pants.
Oh, wow.
We're not
What?
here to talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are we doing today?
Oh, I was just keeping the dust out of the carburetor. We're gonna be cutting some stuff. Today's bug day. Cycling. Zephyr sitting. Jeep is jeeping. The bug is bugging. Getting all this stuff accomplished with the fiberglass. Things take time. Don't tell me how they're uneven. What we're talking about is how we're going to open this hood. I got it screwed shut. But I don't want it to open like that. I want it to open like this. And I don't want the nose in two pieces. I want the whole nose in one piece. And I want the whole thing to tip open like that. There's going to be a gas tank in there. Can you dig it?
I like it.
All right. So I got a couple of those old gate hinges I used on the door. I have a total of 8 of these, so I'm going to put them everywhere. Clean them up, grease them up. You know me and the sound effects. So I got the face off, hence the title. Face only a mother could love. Getting some weird comments about that too, but hey, to each their own. I love this. It cheapens the look.
I don't think so. I mean, okay, I did say in the Jeep video that I didn't like the mesh thing, but you like it. I mean, that's just the way stuff goes, man.
In the end, I might use a little grill. I don't know. I don't want it to look like, straight up robot face, right? 2 eyes and a mouth. So sometimes like Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty has no mouth.
Oh, that is true. She does not.
Let's put this in place. So this, you can see the really high-tech fastener that was developed with this particular kit. It works great. A lot of people are saying, man, the nose is loose, it's crooked, etc. Yeah, it was hanging by a buckle. So now we're gonna fasten it. Does that not look pretty even? Look at the front beam, right? That's a nice, it's looking decent. I like that orientation. So what we're gonna do here is do a preliminary setup. I already drilled a few things. I got a couple ideas. Parts of the Zephyr front clip we cut off. Reuse everything, right?
I really like how this looks on these stands because it looks like it's about to take off into outer space or something.
It has a character.
Like how it's like coming up
I
at
think
you.
I was probably 14 when I saw the first narrow eye Baja bug, and I bought one. Jamie will
wow.
insert the picture right here. Yeah, I've loved this look ever since. I was a wee lad. Took these 2 pieces of that front cross member left over and drilled 2 holes. Like a lot of Baja bug stuff, they'll bolt to the front beam supports, the bumper cages that you'll get, a few other things, but we're going to make a flip nose that bolts right to the front beam mounting hardware.
Wow.
Starting with these 2 plates. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Nothing as elaborate as the doors, but I'm going to get rid of a lot of this crashed sheet metal too. We don't need that. There's no front apron, no spare tire holder, no nothing. So all we really want to retain, you'll see once I cut it open, there's a cross member in here. That'll just keep this spread and bolt to the front beam. But this tin, it's ugly, taking it out first. A little later when we go for tacos, I'll share the shoot the moon reference with you. That way at least you'll know.
Tacos. That's how Ian romances me. He takes me for tacos and beers.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, that's how you romance me. You take me for tacos and beers.
Hey.
And tells me about movie references.
I've cut a lot of these Volkswagens apart, so I sort of know my way around, like a butcher and a cow. Ah, there's an interior structure. Here's a little quiz for the Volkswagen fans. What is this little pocket for? Jamie, do you know? Getting our money's worth.
I saw that.
Do you have an answer yet?
No.
Snacks.
Ah,
No.
that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure the windshield washer fluid bottle went there.
Ah.
You know the windshield washer in a Bug is powered by the air pressure in the spare tire?
Really?
It's high tech.
The way these things are engineered is wild.
It's super cool. So maybe on this year, I don't know, but it could be. I think it is. I'm gonna get a new disc. Yeah, I'm feeling some attachment points because the front beam bolts in here, but I'm gonna stab it right here and see what happens. I think I'll be able to put the saw right in here. Maybe just this. Aha! All right, so there we go. Just the little cross member spreader remaining. So you can see the 4 bolts that hold the front beam in place. Whole suspension comes off with those 4. So it's a really strong attachment point. I'm going to put those plates on the lower ones, and I'm going to put a couple washers behind them. That way I'll have the opportunity to adjust this whole nose because things might change, you know, the body might unbolt. Right now it's bolted down, but once the gasket's in, it might move a little bit, so I'm going to want a little adjustment. I'm going to take some weight off of the front suspension. That way when I take these bolts off, nothing gets weird. Lighten it up a little bit. So like I said, that's going to go in. Just going to have a washer behind it, or 2. That way, if I do have to tighten it up to the car a little bit, I could take those washers out. Well, as it turns out, I don't have 4 of the same washers. I'll split that. One big and one little. See, now we got these 2 pieces hanging down that we can weld to. And this isn't super important at this point. We're just going to want those hinge pins to be parallel. So that's all. Get it nice and straight through. Cool. Okay, so back to the table. So you can't weld to fiberglass. So I'm gonna set up this little flat bar to reinforce that. But I think I'm gonna want to do this. Get a flat thing. Piece of paper should work. Something to roughly estimate where this, this is pretty much, I'm assuming, the center, the license plate. This doesn't have to be perfectly center. Just got to attach, but you know me. All right, so give or take that 1.5, 1 5/8, 2, 1 3/4, 2, 1 7/8, 1 7/8. All right, I can live with that. So we're just gonna keep that there. We're gonna move this. See, I want the steel at the very edge. We're gonna move this right to the edge. And I'm gonna mark it. Then cut it in the vise. Did he just use that disc incorrectly?
What'd you say?
Nothing. Making a joke for the audience.
Gotcha.
So see, this goes on the nice fit to the contour of the fiberglass.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah, so I'm gonna clamp that. I'm gonna fiberglass this in, but for a temporary hold, we're gonna screw it. So we'll have the opportunity to maybe take it apart should we need to during the construction process. The process. Got some screws. So I don't want a bunch of hardware showing in the end result, but it'll work for now. That smells good.
I know.
It's almost like perfume.
Either that or it's a ghost.
Apparition. All right. Look, Ma, no clamps. All right. We have some structure, and we have some structure removed. How'd the knuckle cracking work in the Jeep fender thing?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's good. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. You could really hear it. Even your shoulders.
Excellent.
That's why you're in so much pain.
Trying to keep it authentic. Okay. We got that into position. Now we're going to delve to the underside of things. Actually, I'm going to screw this together too. Because see this little double edge here? I don't really like that, the way it kind of comes down and over. So we're going to work on radiusing that out with some fiberglass in the long run. But right now I'm just going to put some screws in there just to keep a little more structure in that. So see how it goes through and pushes them apart? See that? So I reverse it, and I strip out the top piece. And then go into the second level. Draws them together. Something to think about. I see a lot of people doing the opposite, pushing their pieces apart. Right, you come in.
I see what you did.
Okay, now we got a good grip between these two. This is where you're going to take the director's seat. I'm going underneath.
That thing is. This thing has seen some better days. Wow.
When I lay on it, it's so saggy, it barely even rolls. It just kind of slides around on the concrete.
I think the next time we go to Harbor Freight, we might have to.
I bought another one from there, and the weight limit was like 230, and it broke the first time I used it. So I've had this for 20 years. I got it from J&E Fabrication. Johnny. This is actually Eddie's creeper, but the A in J&E. But... All right, so
I can see right up your nose.
So you got the steel plate behind this, and you got these two plates hanging down. They're much extra material. I just let them hang low. And then you got your two things you need to weld to. One to the car and one to the front end. But it don't work that easy. Yeah, I think I could probably put this in here because you don't want it. You want the hinge as low with every hinging thing. Like you'll see, for instance, just a regular travel trunk or something where the hinge is a piano hinge on the outside of it. Because if your hinge is too far inboard, then the panels are going to hit each other. So what we're aiming to do with this is keep it kind of just on the very edge, but a little bit lower than the body. And it looks like I'm going to have to put, instead of having the barrel outside, I'm going to have to work it this way with the barrel inside. Man, that is almost perfect. Look at that fit up. Hand me that thing. I'll show you this fit up. So, can you see this?
Yeah.
See the way that flat bar, see the flat piece?
Mm-hmm.
It rotates and hits the steel. That's almost too easy. Shocking. But if we have the hinges not parallel, they're going to bind. So we have to put a cross brace in first. But this is cool. I can get a measurement off this. I never have thought that was going to work. I'm serious. This is like, what? Like, it works perfect.
Somebody commented in the last video about like how when you did the crossmember thing for the Zephyr and how you like said like you don't really know where you're going. And they're like, I don't know where you're going either, but I like it.
Well, this is straight on the, like you see,
That's
what's
just how
happening
you
here. This is on the
flow.
fly. So I'm going to need to clamp that so I can adjust. I need to control this motion. So let's see, I think I can get a clamp on there.
Yeah.
So see, this has to sit in there. And then you see the flat bar, right? Basically, I'm rotating it around, comes over the top, and then it hits the steel in there. Like, hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Wild. But they have to remain parallel or they'll bind as they're rotating. That's where this clamparooski comes in, hopefully. Oh. Thanks, Tamu. Look at that clamp.
Don't make me laugh. I'm trying to hold my shot here.
It's a Tamu clamp. I am just beside myself right now. If that is not a tidy little arrangement.
And then there'll be one on the other side too?
What?
The same hinge over there?
Here it is.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So I'm going to check because it has to be parallel this way and this way. So I think I'm going to tack weld each end here and here. That way it'll be held up without the clamp, and then I can twist it a little bit But
Yeah, because it doesn't look parallel top side.
ooh, sure don't. Looks like that's got to come up, don't it?
It's got to go back towards the car.
Okay. I can't see that. Thanks.
But I'll show you. You can sit here and look.
This is very fragile, but now I can take the clamp off. So that looks decent.
Yeah, it looks a lot more parallel.
But then, yeah, this is far inboard than that one. So how do we arrange that? That one can come out, or maybe we could twist this, or we could tack it there. That looks decent. Yeah, that one's way out of shape. All right, this one looks great, so I'm going to tack this one in, and I'm going to adjust the other one. So I have to cut this off, and I have to rotate this just a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tack that. That way I don't lose it. And I can twist that weld. This should move outward. I don't think I'm going to get a chisel. So I'm going to try to persuade that to move out just a little bit. Nope. Persuading this to get all cockeyed. Ha-ha!
Is that what you were trying to do?
Absolutely not.
Oh no.
It's okay. We got some reference points from where the welds were. And I got a clamp.
Oh, so the tack didn't hold.
Sure did not. Arrest that guy. So, that looks good. That's still right where it was. But now we know that that tack is off. That'll hold her. So now, as we were, yes, so this needs to push in. That point, I bet I could just wedge this now. Maybe not. That's what we're trying to do. Motherless goat. I don't know about that steel. Hopefully this doesn't
Right?
happen with the Zephyr. What the F? That is very unusual. Huh. Hopefully you're not up to a challenge and everything. We haven't even welded on the Zephyr yet, but that thing, that was not very impressive. Steel should be malleable. That was very brittle. Especially with that amount of heat. What in good God's urge is going on here? This thing falls on the floor once more. I quit. There it is. It just worked. It's so funny working on so many different car projects. Look at this screwdriver. This
Oh
is
my.
in the trunk of the Zephyr. I was like, woo.
That was like in the trunk of it?
Yeah.
Aw.
You just end up
Oh.
with all this interesting stuff. Yeah, see, I just wedged that in there. Yeah, that should do it. There it is. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna put a tack and then remove the screwdriver. Okay, now we just have to figure out how to weld inside here. That's gonna be a challenge. I've done a lot of this kind of stuff. You can't even really see what you're doing. Just kind of peek in and hope for the best. And we might be in that. Wait, or I could take the headlights out. I would stick my hand right in there. Of course, they're nuts on them. The backside. Build custom cars, they say. It'll be fun. So I can feel where all this stuff is coming together. But I can't see it. Like I could weld it right there if I could just will it to be. What would you do in this predicament? Would you take off the tire and then reach in from there? I think I would.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm going to try to take off the tire and reach in from the wheel well, see if I can't access that. This is one of those circumstances I described where you can't really see what you're welding. You just shoot it, trigger it, take a look once it's stopped, and starting to catch something. I took the tire off, but it wasn't really necessary because I can't see what we're doing anyway. But we'll see it when we open it. It's interesting, once you see the fiberglass start smoking, you can hear it. All right, starting to get a grab on it. So I was saying, sometimes you got to give a little to get a little. I'm gonna have to repair all that fiberglass, but those screws will get all changed out, etc. It smells good.
Now we know it's not a ghost.
All right, we're gonna have to open this up and take a look. We got some serious issues going on.
Uh-oh.
Look, the hinge got pushed over by the welding rod. The wire, as I fed it, not looking, before it even tacked it, pushed the hinge over. So, not a deal breaker, but I have to gently open this, cut it back, reset it, and try again. Now it's welded and it's in the wrong place. But I think the hood's gonna hinge. Or it's gonna fall on the floor like so many of our other projects. No, it's going to hinge like it was designed. Excellent. I'll have to put a lot of structure in here, but this is the start. See what happened? This thing pushed over, so I gotta cut that. Pain in my butt. Then close it, and then try again. There it is. Always something. I bet I could weld that right there. Now I can unbolt this, do all the fiberglass. I'm probably going to put a metal piece in here and tie off to this. But first I want to get a bunch of structure fiberglass in, but that's the layout. Oops. Great. Now what? Oh, it just flexed. I'm gonna have to put a crossbar to stop. So this is pinching it down and causing it to get wider.
What is it doing?
This being screwed on is pushing this down, so it's causing that to flop out. See? So when I lift it, then it gets narrower. It's always something.
I feel like you're getting mad.
Cars is easy, right? Can't see what you're welding. Things falling apart and you're just trying to do a day's work. I have to modify this big time. Because this nose gets wider as it comes in. So I might have to cut this right here. As it joins up, I may have to create something like that. Because at this point, this fiberglass goes like that as it opens. There's this huge gap on this side because the fender's not finished, so it's not affecting it. But interesting. I mean, you can see it shut just as it should, so that's good news. This all looks just like it was, so yeah.
So it's just getting bound up there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to do a major amount of fiberglass right through here because I can't modify it once it's open because it flexes. But it sets exactly where it's supposed to, right there. So that's the good news. It went back into shape. But yeah, before I move this again, I'm gonna pull these screws, cut this back, and fiberglass the heck out of this. Get this piece bonded, because that's the problem. It's hinged, so the weight of this is just collapsing it and causing that to flex open. But the hinge doesn't bind, and it's hidden. I like that. You know, you're seeing the car up in the air now, but once that thing's dropped, you're not going to see any of that business. And most importantly, if you have to get to it, it's easily removable. Let me drop it down, take a look. Yeah, so with it this low, you don't even see it. And this, let's tempt fate once more. Yeah. So that's hitting the ground. That gives you tons of room. We'll probably put it on actuators, so it'll sit somewhere in that value. So you can fill the gas or toss whatever you need to in there. And then when this comes in, yeah, it just flexes it. But you see, once you see the problem, it shuts right back as it should.
This car is gonna look so sick.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's already like really pulling together.
Maybe someday we'll have a shop where we'll have room to work on a car. Wouldn't that be awesome? You never know. There's 4 projects at this little room. It's starting to wear on me. Until next time. Come on back now, you hear?